try not to tell fibs to the agents that you're ready when you're not, because we hear this a lot. And look, what it does, and by all means go to open homes before you're ready. You know, you need to do that. If you're not ready and you just need to research the market, go to the open homes, look around, have a look what you can afford. There's nothing better than walking through a property to understand if it's for you. But don't fib and tell them that you're ready when you're not, because what it does is they lose trust in the fact when you are ready, they don't believe you. So you really want to make sure, look, let them know. Say, look, I'm not quite ready. I'm almost there. I'm having a bit of a look around, but soon I'll be ready and I'll let you know. And it just helps build that relationship. Property transactions can be among the most significant financial decisions of your life.
We are here to guide you, debunk the myths and misconceptions that cloud the industry, help you move forward confidently through your real estate journey, and give you a behind-the-curtain look into the world of real estate.
We're Michelle Tucker and Linda Johnson from Spring Buyers Agency and Spring Property Management.
And this is the Unreal Estate Podcast. Today we're going to delve into being ready to buy and how you do that. A bit of a trend we're seeing at the moment and hearing in the marketplace is there's a number of buyers out there and they're not in fact ready to purchase a property. So we're hearing from selling agents that there are negotiations underway or they're in cooling off periods, but they get to the pointy end and find out at the last minute the buyer can't perform and the deal obviously falls over. We're also at the moment experiencing a number of inquiries coming in where buyers are eagerly wanting to start negotiations and want our help to buy property that they've seen. But during our initial consultation, we're understanding that they actually don't have their finance in order and among other things, and they're not actually ready to sign a contract and pay a deposit.
Sometimes it's something that they're not really aware of. It's a lack of understanding of the process more than anything, isn't it? So, for example, they may have been told that, no, go and find the house you want to buy and then you can make your sale subject to that purchase. Mm-hmm. We're hearing that a bit, and people think that is actually a way to buy property. Mm. Whilst it's possible, it's very rarely done.
It's typically at the higher end or more complex
occasionally. I've hardly seen it in my career. It's a lot of risk for the seller to take on.
Highly unlikely the agent will advise the client, the vendor, to accept an offer that's conditional to finance.
So today we thought we'd share a few tips on making sure that you are ready, in fact, because you never know when you find that right house, you might need to move it along and sign a contract pretty quickly. So you want to make sure that you're in the position, the strongest position to try and secure it.
And it's really a way to help sort of jump the queue and be noticed by the selling agents as well when they know that you are prepared. So how do you get prepared? What's the very first step? Is you need money to buy the property. So you need to have your finance in order, and that can be easy access to cash, so that at the ready that you can use to purchase. A bank pre-approval. There are some banks out there at the moment, or some lenders, that aren't issuing exact pre-approvals, but they have something else in place that allows you to actually move forward with your purchase. And of course, superannuation, making sure those structures are all set up and ready to go as well before you even start really looking around.
You need a pre-approval.
Yeah.
I think also make sure that you have access to a deposit. A lot of our clients that come to us, obviously this is part of the process that we go through with them, making sure that they're ready. They've got ticked all the boxes. So if you have a 5 or a 10% deposit at the ready, because you're going to need that on exchange. And if you don't have that, then you've got contingency like a deposit bond or something like that.
Absolutely. And make, allowances as well for time. Sometimes, the transfers can take longer than a couple of days. So all of those things kind of need to be set out in advance before you start getting out and looking. And it's important as well because often we hear from clients when they start working with us, I've spoken to my broker, or I've spoken to so-and-so. It's not enough. You don't actually really truly know how much money you have until it's signed, sealed and delivered from the bank or,
well, some people may have gone through the process, 6 or 12 months ago and they could borrow this and now they can borrow that. So We had a client yesterday that had happened to, and they were significantly reduced in their serviceability. So it's a good idea. Have your pre-approval, then you're set, you're good. You're not going to find yourself in a position where you've exchanged on a contract and you can't get the finance. So yeah, definitely have that in place, and then you're set to get out there.
Yeah. If you are in a position that we just touched on a couple of seconds ago, selling to buy, generally you need to go through that sale process first, right up until the point that you have got an unconditional exchange of contracts. So that means when you're locked in and neither party can essentially pull out, it's that period between exchange and settlement. At that time, then you're ready to be in a position that you can go out and search and purchase another property.
We have a lot of our clients doing that, don't we? They're often moving from Sydney. They've sold their house. They've got an unconditional, and we're set to go. And we sometimes meet them before they have that unconditional, and we get everything ready and prep them. And then the minute they get that, we're off and running and trying to line up that simultaneous settlement so they can move from one house to another.
So finance is ticked off. What else do you need to do to be ready to purchase a property? So the next thing is to understand what you can buy for your money. So the best way to start is to go onto the real estate portals and actually go to the sold section and type in the parameters of your actual budget. So that will then give you a good indication on the size of property, the type of property, the areas. If you're not quite sure of areas, it'll be pretty evident what your budget or what area your budget can afford. And really go through, look at the photographs, look at the floor plans.
Do some drive-bys. Go and have a look at the houses. Drive up the street. Yeah, because you can learn a lot by doing that, right? Sometimes they look like they're on a flat block in the photos, and you go there and you're like, wow, didn't see that hill in the picture.
And it's also good to understand with the price guides that you do see online, they are a guide and that's their intent. The expectation is something entirely different and generally much higher. So just bear that in mind, especially if you're looking at property right at the very top of your budget.
Yep, good point. Very good point.
Other things to be ready. So you've got your money, you're understanding now what your money can buy. Another great thing to do is immerse yourself in those areas. If you're out of area and moving into the area, go and look at some homes, drive around the area, visit the amenities, go to some attractions to see if you feel really comfortable in that area and really like it, and it's a fit for you and your circumstances and your family.
Perhaps look at school zones as well. Schooling's becoming super important. What suburbs are zoned for what school, and you can jump on what's the site, School Finder or something like that, and you can really easily see where you're zoned. Because a lot of people don't realise until they find a house and go, oh, actually, that's not my school of choice.
And then lastly, to be ready, get to know who the active agents are in those particular areas. Hunting for property and building agent relationships is a full-time job, which is what we do all day, every day, and has taken, 30 plus years in our case to form these relationships. But it's really important that you do get to know them and you're in contact with them every few days. You don't want to stalk them and be annoying, but you certainly want to stay top of mind. So, be conversing with them, have a list of them, and there's probably a good 3 touch points per week with each agent to stay on top of what they've got coming to market, and to, be at the ready. They know that you're at the ready as soon as the right opportunity comes along.
Yeah, and try not to tell fibs to the agents that you're ready when you're not, because we hear this a lot. And look, what it does, and by all means go to open homes before you're ready. You need to do that. If you're not ready and you just need to research the market, go to the open homes, look around, have a look what you can afford. There's nothing better than walking through a property to understand if it's for you. But don't fib and tell them that you're ready when you're not, because what it does is they lose trust in the fact when you are ready, they don't believe you. So you really want to make sure, let them know. Say, look, I'm not quite ready. I'm almost there. I'm having a bit of a look around, but soon I'll be ready and I'll let you know. And it just helps build that relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's some tips that hopefully our listeners might get if you are considering getting into the property market, or you currently are and you're struggling a little bit. Hopefully there's some tips to help you be purchase ready.
And if you need a professional, you know where to find us. springbuyersagency.com.au.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Unreal Estate. If there is someone you think could benefit from the information that we've shared today, please feel free to share this episode or leave us a comment. We'd love to hear your feedback. We release a new episode every 2 weeks, so stay up to date, hit follow or subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.